Hello, hello, hello. I am Matt Williamson at Williamson NFL. It is about 1 in the morning here after round 1 of the draft. Just got home from the Steelers facility, was on the air all the entire time, and I will be for every pick of the draft. Tune in. I don't have a ton to add. I mean, we've talked this to death. Harmon was absolutely one of my 3 real target players, along with Nolan and Grant, all defensive linemen, of course. And I got to say, when Miami grabbed Grant, I kind of got a little concerned. Like, uh-oh, he went a little earlier than I thought. And then Nolan went, like, uh-oh, I think a trade down's not going to happen. Hopefully Harmon's still around. It's the way it went. And, I mean, if you had your cake and eat it too, you could have got, trade down 5 spots and still got Harmon, but I don't think they're playing that game. They just wanted to get their guy. And I love it. I really think he's a good fit. He is long. He's athletic. He had a very good year. He led the nation in quarterback pressures for an interior D lineman. He offers a lot against the run. He runs well. He's got big hands, long arms, pretty young, really strong character dude. I mean, he had a history at Michigan State where took care of his mother who was ill, and, when he goes to Oregon and really explodes and gets stronger. I still think his lower half could use a little more bulk, mass strength, but he brings a lot to the table. I know there were some medical things out there about him just being at the facility, and they are not the slightest bit concerned about any of that, at least right now, that's for sure. He was in the building recently. They did all that medical stuff while he was there, passed with flying colors. So I don't have anything else really to say about Harmon that I haven't told you guys over and over and over. I'm just happy they got him. I don't think they were tempted by Shedeur Sanders with that pick. This is who they wanted. Didn't listen to trade offers. Attacked the guy they wanted. Very happy about it. Trust me, you could tell that the coaching staff, we sat down with Omar Khan, everybody was quite happy with the situation. And I know they usually are, but sometimes you could tell, like, but this one was, yep, got our guy. Great. Check that box. Fill the biggest need. And as he works his way into being a really, really regular player, I do think he'll be valuable for sure, along with Benton and Hayward, when they're 4-man fronts, nickel dime. I think he'll be in that mix immediately, as well as a rotational guy, on early downs, base defense, which isn't always early downs. I also think, and I asked Omar this, and he didn't exactly say yes or no, of course. I don't know that they're going to be done on the D-line. I definitely think a nose in round 3, 4, 5 could be in the mix, and boy, there's a ton of them. Run stuffer, middle, A-gap type guys over the center. A lot of that to pick from. The running backs have not got hit hard, and now I think they will get hit pretty hard before the 83rd pick. But I definitely think running back and nose are in the mix. And we have a long wait tomorrow. I mean, we have a long wait until pick 83, until the Steelers pick again. But I don't think they're against trading a future pick, not their first, probably not their second, to make some kind of splash tomorrow in addition to pick 83 or something along those lines. Maybe you take your 5th and next year's 3rd and move up into the early 3rd round and grab a running back or something along those lines, or Milrow, or who knows. I bet tomorrow's, I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I was about to say, I bet tomorrow is more than just about the 83rd pick, that there's something else that happens, but I don't know that for sure. I just think that it's a possibility. So overall, I am thrilled with the Harmon selection. It's what you want. It didn't outkick the coverage. It didn't disappoint. It's just kind of how we laid it out over and over and over. And I think with this selection, the rest of the draft build is set up to go a lot smoother than if this was a running back or a quarterback, certainly, or a nose. And I really liked Grant, but that was one of my Grant concerns, is drafting him first. It's a little more difficult to piece together 2D linemen for this draft. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. The Final Four is upon us, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to MLB, NHL, and UFC, even the Kentucky Derby and NFL season futures are ready for you to bet. In between games, head over to BetOnline Casino with the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. My apologies, this is going to be somewhat of a short one because, frankly, it's news, of course. The Steelers made their first round pick, but it was expected. We've talked it to death, but I do want to spend a couple minutes on the rest of the division. The Ravens at the end of the first round took Malachi Starks, a safety out of Georgia. Such a Ravens move. I mean, non-premium position, but a pretty premium player. Really strong prospect. Allows Kyle Hamilton to a lot more freedom. Starks will probably be there free and allow Hamilton to come down and play big slot, and as well as in the box, man coverage against the tight ends, things like that. Hamilton's tremendous, and Starks will be a really good complement to him. They're really strong up the middle of their defense now. This is a very typical wait, take best player available, Ravens style pick. One of the best two safeties for sure in this draft. And they had their pick of any of them, and they chose Starks. I totally understand that. I'm not as high on the Bengals pick. Shamar Stewart, the big, super athletic defensive end, is very boom or bust. And they have not developed defensive talent there well at all over these last couple draft classes. Highly unproductive at Texas A&M, but a monster physical specimen. You watch him, though, he just doesn't make plays or see the game particularly well. I mean, people cross his face, he doesn't see it. I mean, even the run, yeah, he gets some pressures and things, and he could hit huge. But the defensive end was a big problem for them in their four-man front, and I don't think Hendrickson's going anywhere. But he could hit huge, or he could just kind of not perform, not produce. And that's what he was at A&M. So that doesn't worry me all that much. The Browns are super interesting. Now, they traded away from what I think is the best player in the draft in Travis Hunter. I mean, I really think he's a tawny and that he could do both. And I give the Jags credit for they needed a corner and they needed a receiver, and they got him. But I also mentioned about the Browns that adding Hunter to a team that doesn't have a quarterback, needs to revamp its entire O-line, needs D-line help, he should be more of the cherry on top. So I give the Browns a ton of credit for getting a massive haul to go from 2 to 5. So not only they go from 2 to 5, but then they get that early second from the Jags. So the Browns are going to have 2 really early picks on Friday, and they get the Jags first round pick next year, which the Browns may have 2 top 10 picks a year from now. So 3 years in a row before this draft, the Browns got nothing out of their drafts because of the Watson trade. Late picks. This year, they came into the draft with the most draft capital of anyone in this class, and then they added to it with this trade down, and now they're loaded for next year. Now they got to make these picks count. And the Mason Graham pick, I think he's overrated and not going to be the best defensive lineman in most draft classes, but he's got a high floor. He's going to be a good player. He's a culture setter. He's a tough guy. He comes from a winning environment. So I understand it. It's a need position. Him and Myles Garrett should, make that D-line pretty strong. But I'll be shocked if he's a perennial Pro Bowl type guy. I think he'll be a good player. But again, a lot of these picks early in the draft were just high floor picks, and he epitomized that. There was a handful of them right in that neighborhood, Will Campbell, etc. It's just a bad place to pick, 4, 5, 6, etc., 7. in this particular draft if you're looking for home runs. So I get what they're doing. Again, they have 2 early picks. Might one of those be Shedeur Sanders or Milroe or Shuck or somebody like that? Maybe. Or are they just going to load up and go in heavy for their quarterback a year from now with 2 first-round picks? We shall see. But I do think the Browns move was very interesting. And the haul they got from trading away from Hunter was impressive. Now we'll see what they do with the picks. So overall, good day for the Steelers. They landed a player I think most of us coveted. I'm glad they did not go with Sanders or Dart. Dart is off the board, by the way. And there's more work to be done, but we don't discount that Metcalf is part of this haul as well. And I do think the 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks will probably make you happy when it's all said and done. All right, everyone, take care and good night.